Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and this is going to be our rookie walkthrough for this week's 9-hole cup. Really excited to share my round with you. As you can see here, we got off to a good start. Minus 14 is plenty to get us into like a competitive nature to go ahead and win the 9-hole cup. So kind of just a breakdown real quick. We picked up a couple birdies on the first 2 holes and then an eagle. So, we played holes 1 through 3 as a normal scorecard rate. And then we really started to pick up some steam. So hole 4, with the birdie, but then we eagle 5, eagle 6, which is a par 5, another birdie on a par 3 on hole 7, picked up an extra eagle on a par 4 on hole 8, and then picked up a tough eagle on a hole number 9. So I'm going to give you all the shots that you need to make this tournament work out for you, at least as far as qualifying goes. Keep in mind, in the final round, the wind is going to change. So we really need to pick up as good of a qualifying score as possible. So, if you get off to a bad start today, don't be nervous to just take a practice round and, test out some shots to get dialed in and then go ahead and qualify tomorrow. But we got this video out early to help everybody out. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. And please hit the thumbs up. Those things just take a millisecond. And as always, like I've committed to moving forward, when it comes to the final round, I know we only get 1 day to play, okay? I'm going to be up at 5 a.m. my time. So that's Central Standard Time, United States. And I'm going to play the live round blind. I'm going to see the wins for the very first time, which is typically going to bring down my overall score. But I'm doing it for you. If you have a little bit of patience, wait till I'm fully done playing and then go ahead and play your rookie final round. So that's the plan of attack. And then let's hop into hole number 1. So hole number 1 here, I'm playing with the Navigator. And you're going to see that's going to be an extremely common theme throughout this tournament. On a 9-hole cup, I do not like to waste a lot of good balls. So, I try to play the majority of it with a Navigator, Katana, that kind of stuff. But Navigator, hole number 1. 10% elevation. We don't really need to push the drive too hard. We're going with 1 bar of left side spin, and then I settled on 1 bar of top spin. Now, you can go 2 bars of top spin if you want to, but either way, it really doesn't matter. Not a big deal when it comes to pushing this drive because you have plenty of distance on shot number 2 to attack an eagle. And there is a pretty good chance for an eagle shot here. As you can see, plenty of fairway to work with. Like I said, you can push the drive a little harder if you want to, but it's not going to give you a big advantage. Now, what I tried doing here initially was I was looking for a rough bump. Now, as you can see here, when I apply my spin, this ball guideline is very inconsistent. So I went ahead and backed off that. I'm going to go just for a bounce over shot here. So this is shot number 2, of course. You can see here I'm going with 1 bar of right side spin and a little bit of backspin. And I'm just kind of trying to point here favoring the left-hand side of the pin. Just because we are getting a tailwind with a crosswind to the right. So I went ahead and offset just barely to the left-hand side. But as you can see here, I hit a great ball. And the only reason I'm really showing you this shot is just to show you that the speed is really good. So that backspin that we applied is going to be really consistent for this hole. But here's a better shot at it. And I'm playing this one at 0% elevation at mid-distance of my club. And you can see here, much quicker this time. I went ahead and abandoned the rough bump, did the same amount of spin, 1 bar of right side spin, and a little bit over 1 bar of backspin. If you can pick up an eagle on hole number 1, that's going to give you a great leg up. You can see we come in really close. So like I said, the speed is perfect. We can use that spin every time. So let's take a look at it just real quick, because again, if you can pick this up, you're in good shape. So, okay, let's call it about 1.8 bars of backspin, 1 bar of side spin to the right. Let's take a look at the landing spot here. Whoa. Hold on. Slow down, iPad. Okay. So the landing spot, you can kind of see what I'm doing. I think it's important that we focus on the second bounce. Notice how the second bounce is on the green. It's not on the fringe. You're going to want to make sure you pay attention to that detail when you shoot. And here I'm just favoring the left-hand side of the cup. Left-hand side of the cup. And I actually missed left-hand side, so we can go ahead and try to just aim dead center on this one or just slightly to the right-hand side, and we should be okay. Hole number 1, very simple birdie, but a really good chance for an eagle, so good luck, everybody. Hole number 2, not a fan of this hole. This is a shootout on tour number 10. I don't know what other tour it's in, but you know, anytime we get tailwind, we want to use a Goliath. And we're going to just go ahead and apply topspin, and I'm going to tell you what we're looking for here. So you can see here we're a little bit over 3 bars of topspin with 1 bar of side spin to the right. Now you can see me wiggle my ball guideline around here. I'm just trying to find this little sticky spot, and I want the end of my ball guideline, the very tail of it, I want it to just barely go over that last hump. That's what we're always looking for on this hole. And again, if I don't, say the elevation out loud, I do have a graphic at the beginning of every hole that pops up and tells you the elevation. And that's what we want. We want the ball just to come down nicely over that little slope. And you see, we almost sneak it in the cup there. Now, the only problem with this hole is you would think, okay, if I missed that way, I'm just going to offset my shot a little bit. This hole is difficult to offset a shot on. So there's your elevation. So as you can see here, 10% elevation. I'm playing at mid-distance of my, well, I put sniper, that's wrong. It's mid-distance of my Goliath. Obviously not a sniper. But when you start to move your ball guideline around on this hole, this is where offsetting is tough. These dips in the fairway really mess around with your ball guideline. And it's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see whenever you go out there and take your shot. But regardless, this is another easy birdie, and we're going to go on the hole number 3. All right, hole number 3 is 10% elevation. I'm using at mid-distance of my driver, and I'm using a navigator ball here. I'm going to go ahead and go 1 ball of left side spin, which is max with the navigator, and then I want you to apply top spin until you see your second bounce go into the fairway, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so you see how we have bounce number 1 on the fairway where the target is, but then bounce number 2 is also on the fairway? That's what we want. And we don't really want to clip the rough and roll out. I mean, it'd be fine if you do. You're still going to make it to the green, no problem. But what we're looking to accomplish on this hole is a rough bump, either with our sniper or your long iron. Either one's going to be completely fine. If we roll out of the rough, it just makes that shot a little bit harder. But remember here, I'm playing 10%. I'm playing medium distance of my driver. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to bounce on that second fairway and get some good distance. Now, what we like about this is going to leave us with shot number 2. Shot number 2 is going to be played at no elevation. And as you can see, I'm at absolute minimum distance of my sniper because as soon as I pull back a little bit, it goes to the Goliath. That's how you know you're at minimum distance. Now, I just apply a couple bars of backspin from where I'm at, and I just aim dead center of the cup, but of course through the pin. Through the pin is important because we are getting headwind. This hole gives us a really nice chance for an albatross. And as you can see, we come extremely close. The speed is perfect. We just chalked that one up as just as a close shot. So a really good opportunity there to get a drop. Now we go into hole number 4. Hole number 4, now pay attention here what I say. I've got a navigator again with a backbone, and I have here 35% elevation at max distance. Now, I'm going to show you 2 replays on this hole. And on the replays, I am personally playing 20% at max distance. And just take a look at how this goes. I'll fast forward a little bit for time. But I'm using 4 bars of backspin. And pretty much right here, you can see I'm aiming dead center of the hole. Now we get a perfect ball, and this thing comes in way, way to the left-hand side. It's not even close, but the speed is good, so the 4 bars of backspin is nice. That was 20% elevation. Now I'm playing this one the exact same elevation, exact same ball, exact same spin. Now this time you notice here, I'm aiming outside of the right-hand side of the cup. So if you were to draw a line to my ball guideline, it's not even aiming in the cup. I aimed it to the right-hand side, again, at a 20% pull. And we're still way left, by about a full green square. So what I would do moving forward if I had another crack at this is I would go ahead and aim dead center like I did on the first replay. I would just add a ton of elevation to the hole. I would start off with 35%. And really the only thing that's going to do is it's going to make us pull our rings further to the right. So we could either add elevation or we could just continue to offset even more. I prefer on this hole to just aim dead center and add the elevation and see what happens. But regardless, I do think this is going to be a more difficult hole than 1, and it's a guaranteed birdie. You can't really mess up the shot, so no harm, no foul on this one. Now, this is the one that we want to pick up, okay? Hole number 5 is, I have a couple different drives for you. One is with a Berserker, and then the next one is with a Titan. If you have a Berserker, it's difficult to talk somebody into using a Berserker on a 9-hole cup. But I imagine if you're playing to win. So I do think in tailwind with a Berserker, this is going to give us a great opportunity to get an extra drop on the scorecard, which is going to be super important as we head into the final round because you're going to see just an ass load of ties. So here we go. Hole 5. 10% elevation, full top spin, 2 bars of left side spin. Push your target back up to max after you're done pulling your rings. I think it's important to note here that I am aiming significantly kind of like in the middle of the green here. And then when you see me pull my rings, you'll see me push back up to max. And we're doing that just to get our distance back. So notice here when I push back up to max, the end of the ball guideline is almost in the sand. But we are getting a bit of a crosswind push to the right-hand side. That's going to help line this shot out a little bit. And I am using just a smidge of curl to the left. I mean, a very little amount. Now, the one thing that you notice here on this drive, if you were really looking at the detail, is I used maybe a fraction of overpower, if any, and we're coming very close to rolling into this bunker. So if you get a little bit higher of a wind mile per hour, wind strength, you come pretty good close to this bunker area here. Geez, I can't talk today. But so I think it's important that we don't use any overpower on this hole whatsoever, and we're going to be good. But from here, this is a pretty short wedge opportunity. And we're going to go ahead and show you this shot as well with a Titan. Now, the only thing with a Titan is, you're going to have to use overpower. And you need to be good with overpower speed, because this is a perfect ball here. And you can see we're sort of in the same area as my berserker shot. Okay, so we got this here. I'm playing this shot with no elevation. Obviously you just want to use your best wedge. And for me, I just go full top spin. I apply about half a bar left side spin just to counteract the wind. I play this one at no elevation, kind of between minimum and medium distance of my club. Perfect ball going to be crucial, as always. And we get this one to sneak into the hole. Boom. And then you'll see the same thing here. This one, full top spin, aiming into the hole, and it's in for the eagle. So that's that. There's two different ways to play it. Now, I'll talk about hole number 6. Hole number 6, I personally used a navigator. I would probably switch this to a katana moving forward, just for the extra power. And the reason is, if you don't get a decent amount of distance on your drive here with a navigator, then you're going to be looking at a max distance sniper shot, which is fine. But the only thing is, when you go to pull your rings, you might already be at max distance, making the albatross opportunity a little bit difficult. And that katana would give you a little bit of a leg up, okay? But hole 6 is played with 10% elevation. Full top spin, 1 bar left side spin. Like I said, I'm just trying to power this ball up the fairway here. We're getting almost a dead headwind, so I didn't even pull my rings. I just went full top, 1 left. Just picked a landing spot and aiming spot. There's so much fairway to work with here. There's really no fear of screwing up the drive. But you can see here, 343 yards puts me at this shot right here, which I also play at 10%. But, I'm fortunate here to be able to play this shot using some backspin. So as you can see here, I'm a little bit more than 2.5 bars of backspin, and I'm not even at the plus yardage yet of my sniper, which means I have plenty of room. I leave my ball guideline through the pin, of course, because we have headwind. I'm trying to aim dead center. Took me a second there to find the spot. We do hit a perfect ball, which always allows us to gauge what went well or what went wrong. This is okay. This is close. The speed is really good. Typically on a qualifying round, I always want to get my speed down first. That was the old school way of playing, and then kind of tinker with my shot from there. But you can kind of watch that replay and see where I missed, and just maybe use a slight offset and try to get that ball to drop for you. Again, offsetting the shot, tinkering with the shot yourself when taking a look at my miss, it's not going to hurt you at all, because you're definitely going to pick up the eagle on this hole, right? It's a very straightforward hole. You're not going to go in the rough. You're not going to go in the bunker. And, try to play around with it and just learn off of my miss, which is why I'm trying to get this video out as early as possible. Now we hop into hole number 7. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I'm not a fan of this hole. A little bit difficult because, again, of a very unsteady ball guideline. You can see here I haven't even applied spin yet, and my ball guideline is glitching out. So I went ahead and tried to go with some backspin just because we're getting a tailwind push. Got the perfect ball, but you can see here this thing really died on me. So we'll have to use a little bit less backspin. This is a hole that I am definitely not counting on a hole-in-one. I'd be chalk it up as luck if we get one. But regardless, that's going to be, a hole 7, the last par 3 of the tournament. I say we just chalk this one up for a birdie and call it a day. Now we go to hole number 8. Hole number 8 is definitely a very droppable hole. Now, I don't typically recommend a Kingmaker on a 9-hole cup, par 4, but big advantage by using this particular club or this ball, because it's really going to dead the wind on shot number 2, which is going to be a really important shot. But hole number 8, we're going to go max topspin. Use as much topspin as you have with max right spin. Playing this one 10% elevation. And then you're going to see here, I'm using a little bit more than a half of a ball of curl to the right. This is going to be a really solid drive. You're just really looking, again, just to push this ball up and get as close to the hole as possible. Now, let's take a look at the camera angle here, and this is how I figure out elevation. Well, I'm used to playing this hole because it's in Tour 10, but you can see this shot is obviously uphill, okay? So anytime you're playing an uphill shot, it means that your ball is going to be affected by the wind less than it normally is. So we're going to play shot number 2 at minus elevation, minus 10% elevation. Very important to remember that. And what I like about this shot is, I get to use backspin with my thorn. And I'm just trying to find a really nice, consistent ball guide line, leaving my ball guide line through the pin because we do get headwind. And as you can see here, I am favoring the left-hand side of the cup. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is because I've played this hole so many times that I know that sometimes in this wind angle, the ball kicks to the right-hand side a little bit. So that's an advantage of knowing this hole. And we dropped the eagle, and the ball basically went in exactly where we aimed at. So we're excited about that one. That's an eagle. And then we move on to hole number 9. Hole number 9, the last hole. Okay, this is a challenging par 5 for sure. Now, the thing that I would say is, we're going to use another Kingmaker just because we do need the distance for shot number 2. And we would like the wind control. Now, you can definitely use a Titan as well. Either ball is up to you. I just like the extra wind control and the extra 1 bar of side spin that we're going to get. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It means a lot to me. Please hit the thumbs up button. And if you like my content and you would like to support my efforts, you can absolutely donate to my channel. And you can find out how to do so in the comments section. I always put a link to my PayPal there. If PayPal doesn't work for you, just leave me a comment and we'll work something out. I appreciate everybody's support. All right, let's cap this thing off. So I'm going to settle here on, about half of a bar of backspin. Now, here is what we're looking for. We do want to get shot number 1 as high up on the fairway as possible. But we don't want to risk it so much that we go into the rough. Because if we roll into the rough, we're dead for the eagle. We're going to have to take a long-range shot if we go into the rough. But I used 1 bar of backspin here, and I would change this to half of a bar of backspin just to get a little bit more yards. Because you can see there we left quite a bit of fairway open. Now, here is shot number 2. Here's what I don't understand is on this account, I messed up shot number 2, okay? So on my other account, which you saw the scorecard on, I got the eagle on the hole number 9. The only replays that are there, because I forgot to screen record as I went, but the only replay that is there is my first shot, my opponent's first shot, my opponent's second shot, and that's it. There are no more replays. So I apologize about that, but I'm going to show you what you need to do. 5% elevation, and you can see here with the sniper, I have a sniper 10, okay? So if you have a sniper 9 or a sniper 10, you'll be able to use the same setup as me. If you don't, no big deal. You will need to bring your big dog to this hole just because you're going to need the top spin combined with the power, okay? That's going to be very important to note. Now, what you're looking for, again, this just helps for having experience on this hole, is you're looking for the end of your ball guideline to make it over the water and be into the rough, pointing at the sand. We're going to use curl to make sure we don't land in the sand. But you can see here we're also very close to the rough line, so a great right ball could be dangerous. We are pulling at 5% elevation at max distance of our club. Now, notice my shot here. I'm using full curl to the right with a little bit of overpower. The only thing you need to change if you're copying me is you do not need the overpower. You know, we do hit a perfect ball. That's going to be extremely crucial. And just because of the overpower, we just barely roll into the rough. Now, on my other account, I took the overpower off, and it worked out just fine. So let's go back. Well, that's it. Anyways, I hope you find it helpful. There's a path there for a -14. Very easy to follow. A couple simple holes to get the drop on. Good luck, everybody. Let me know how you do. Thank you for watching.